Stop trusting numbers on a wall. They rise and fall, don't say much at all. Every plan had its moment in time. Worked for a while, then crossed the line. Ran a restaurant, loved the flame. Good food, good nights, familiar game. I turned the photos face down, then didn't need to meet that version of me again. But I always knew my face, round and back then, soft shape. Called myself Big Mitch, played it light, but jokes don't lift that kind of weight. Then one night under fluorescent light, in a quiet gym late in the night, I didn't turn, I didn't run, I finally said, yeah, that's me, son. I don't look perfect, I don't look perfect, I don't look young, I don't look young, I just look like a normal man. Scar on my nose from a harder year, healed up clean, still standing here. Life kept rolling, so did I. Didn't come this far just to pass it by. I tried every promise ever made, same old circle, different shade. One small slip, one excuse, learn right back to a weight I couldn't burn. This time I stayed inside the lines. No deals, no maybes, no second tries. Meeting salt day after day, and the noise in my head just faded away. Then one night under mirror light, I stood there calm, I stood there right. Didn't wish, didn't pretend, I finally said, yeah, this is the end. I don't look broken, I don't look broken, I don't look done, I don't look done, I just look like a normal man. 2 push-ups used to stop my breath. Now I passed 25, still got some left. Not fighting age, not chasing time, just strength coming back one rep at a time. Body got lighter, mind got clear. Funny how truth shows up this late in the year. Wasn't weak, wasn't lost back then, just needed the right fuel to meet myself again. Now when I catch that mirror glance, I don't judge him, I give him a chance. Not a before, not a regret, not someone I'm trying to forget. No trophies, no trophies, no grand plan, no grand plan. Just finally living a normal man. 78, still standing tall. Old guy carnivore. Yeah, I found it all.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It is, of course, me, Mitch. Back home with a story to tell, And I hadn't planned this live stream, but I got home early afternoon, and I'll tell you why. I came home. I did come home early. I didn't stay in Tampa for the last after intermission part of the speeches and Q&A and the trip to the Brazilian steakhouse. I decided that discretion be the better part of valor and get out of Tampa while the getting was good, which means I cut probably an hour or two of traffic out of my trip home because I have to go by some fabulous congestion if I do it at after 4 o'clock, especially later in the evening when all the Disney's traffic is heading out of Disney, and I got to go right through all of that, and it's usually stop and go for hours. So I said, nah, I'm not up for that. I can breeze right through this early afternoon window after the morning traffic, before the evening traffic, and only managed to have a few areas of stop and go. Probably cost me an extra 15 minutes, and it was a good decision because, and I see a lot of you are asking me questions because, yes, I overdid it. Man, I overdid it. Yesterday, I hadn't planned on doing the morning coffee, but you know me, I had to do it. So I did the morning coffee. Half an hour later, I was on the road. I had already packed up earlier that morning, packed the night before, got to Kilsa's house at 11:30 in the morning. It was like, other than all the volunteers friends and people that he had over there helping him set up, I was like one of the first ones. So they found me a great place close up to the house to park my car. They gave me they actually gave me the master suite as a bedroom. So I had a beautiful bedroom and a master bathroom connected to it. And that's not the house that Kiltz lives in. That's Kiltz's, call it a man cave or playhouse or studio house or pottery house or whatever you want. So it's not anybody's bedroom. He's got 4 bedrooms in that house, and they serve, I guess, as guest bedrooms. Well, I felt like a king of the hill. And it was a gorgeous day outside. I got sunburn. It was 2 degrees out there. If you saw my live stream from there, you saw it was a gorgeous, clear blue sky, bright sun, and I sat out there and smoking a cigar and just enjoying it and staying out of everybody's way. I felt guilty that I couldn't help them all, moving tables and chairs and carrying this and carrying that. I felt guilty. I couldn't do it. I had enough energy. I was on my feet an awful lot. I was on my feet, I think, more than I've been on my feet in any day in the last year. Kilsey he had a live stream. And he started live streaming the dinner. And you can see it if you haven't seen it yet, the setup of the room there. And it was gorgeous. And they last year they did it outside, but this year they decided to do it inside. They decided to do it inside, and it was great. And there was 90 or 100 people there. The turnout was just amazing. And they did such a fabulous top shelf class of putting this on. You'll see I have some pictures from there. I have a video of the first 3 or 4 minutes of my speech today. I'll show you that later. I don't know what happened to the second half of it. Mike Seeley took it on his cell phone, and he tried to text it to me, and I only got like the first part of it. So as soon as I get all of it, and if Mike couldn't capture it, I'm sure somebody did, I'll make a standalone video out of it, because I was pretty happy with it, considering I had no idea what I was going to say, even as I stood there with the microphone in my hand. I see in the chat here, Super Tune, Chuck, that's Chuck, and it is Mom Carol there, and he came up and introduced himself to me, and it was great meeting you, Chuck. And your mom is amazing. His mom is 86 years old, and I gave her a shout out and a thank you for allowing me to, for once, not be the oldest guy in the room. It was incredible. So thank you, Chuck. Good to see you. I'm sure we'll see you again. The live stream that he put up there was the whole thing, and it went on for hours, and the setup, and nobody really narrated or anything, but you can see as you go along here that the crowd finally started to come in. Not yet. And if you wanted to watch the whole 3 hours of it, you probably see me walking by here and there. But I'll show you where I sat when I finally get to the point where people come in and start eating dinner. Who's that? Somebody with a cell phone. I couldn't see it. Okay, well, at any rate, here we are. Everybody's starting to finally come in, sit down, and you see the arrow where I'm pointing? That, I think, is Rick and Mike Seeley, and I think I'm at the head of that table. Yeah, there I am. There I am, right there. Right there, you can see my sweatshirt, my gray sweatshirt, and my hat. So that's there is a time where I actually get up and you see me walk around a little bit, but it's not all that exciting. But it was quite a deal, and the food was incredible. Let me do this. I got some snapshots that people took on their cell phones and mailed to me. Those were the steaks, and this year they were just Costco. Alia went to Costco and bought 150 pounds of these 2-inch thick ribeyes, and they were fabulous. They were really delicious. Just lots of steak. More steak pictures. There you go. And they cooked them. They cooked them up, and then they sliced them up and they put them out in big trays, and everybody loaded up their plate like it was the Last Supper. Now, this picture was kind of taken into the sun. It's a cell phone picture, but there you see Rick, and there's Nelson, and there's Rick way up there, and that's Mike Seeley Sr. Mike Seeley, the father, and that shows you how tall Rick was. And I met Rick for the first time. I know Rick's on his way home now, so he's not going to be here tonight. I did post a link at the top of the chat, and if anybody decides they want to come in, we'll have a little panel, but I want to do that after I get done talking about the meetup, because that's really the reason that I'm doing this live stream tonight. I got 82 people so far, so not a loss, not a loss. And, of course, drink it if you got it. So there's Rick. There's our buddy Rick. And there's a picture of with Mike Seeley Jr. in there. And he's probably over 6 feet, maybe 6'1". But these guys are both little. So you can see Nelson and Rick are a real contrast. And there's a picture, and here you can see how tall I am compared to Rick. And that was a good picture. That came out really good. But I was starting to get sunburned there. And Rick is 6'6". Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I got a few pictures. Those guys took a few pictures of me and him. Okay.
Why don't you take it from here, my brother?
All right, let me stop this and go over to, well, let me finish with the stills first. Let me finish with the still pictures first. This is a picture that Kelsey just texted me about 20 minutes ago. Attached it to a text, and this was the whole crowd out in front of the Brazilian steakhouse. And he texted me and told me that they missed me, and sent me the picture, and I said I'll show it to everybody on the live stream tonight. He's now on his way back home down to Sarasota again, so I doubt he'll show up here. But he told me that he wants to get together with me on one of my morning live streams, and I told Holly, and they're going to try to arrange something, because Kills doesn't arrange his own schedule. Alia does everything, and Kills never knows where he's supposed to be. He has to talk to Alia in the morning and say, well, where am I supposed to be in the next couple of days? He's got so much to keep track of, so much business, between the medical business and all the YouTube stuff, and it's amazing. It's amazing. He's an amazing guy. At any rate, I had an absolute ball down there. Let me find the speech. I made it a point today not to have rehearsed the speech in any way. Mike, I was going to take a camera, but I decided I wasn't staying all day, so I'd go light. I didn't set up any equipment. I just went in there, talked. I'm surprised I still have a voice left after all the talking I did this weekend. And Mike took this on his iPhone. When I got the clip from him, you almost couldn't make out the audio, so I went ahead and did a quick edit on it and kind of tweaked up the audio. But I'm sure that Kelsey had his own photographers there photographing everything, and I'm sure they've got a very, very good, high quality copy of my whole speech, which went less than 15 minutes. But I do have the first 3 or 4 minutes here, and I thought you might like to see that. So without further ado, here we go. And if you can't hear it, I apologize, but I think I cleaned it up to the point where it was at least legible or audible.
I got it. It's such an honor, and you can't even imagine how flattering it is to be invited to speak at an event like this. And I never, ever, those of you who know me, ever plan any speech I have no idea right now at this instant what I'm going to talk about. No, really. Sounds like kills. It's exactly. And even my live streams, I start a live stream every morning. Well, I got an hour to fill up. I wonder if I'll have enough to talk about. And then after an hour and a half, and I'm still going, and I still got an audience. I said, why the hell are these people still watching? What can I possibly be saying that is entertaining? Because that seems to be what it takes. A lot of people try YouTube. I've been trying it for a lot of years in different genres. I watch a lot of YouTubers, hear their message, and say, well, I've heard what they have to say, and never tune into them again. I have viewers that watch me, and I say, well, who is this crazy old guy? And he's not for me, and they go away, and new people come in. And somehow, in 3 years, there's 50,000 of you out there now. And that is mind-boggling to me, considering I tried very, very hard to get rid of people. And then you go around. And I mean, those of you who know me know that I don't suffer fools. Believe me, I do not suffer fools. Somebody comes on there and is a troll or just keep putting stupid stuff into the dialogue. I tell them, I say, please go away. Go away. I love you. You do whatever you want, whatever you think is right. Just, I'm not interested. My viewers aren't interested. And those that came before you have indeed gone away. So, and they do. And they go away. I get nasty grams. I get nasty comments from them. And one of the things I swore I wasn't going to do today was tell another carnivore story. I got plenty of them. My story sounds like Diane. Sounds like Diane's story. It sounds like your story. I had this disease, that disease, that disease. The doctors all told me I was crazy. Who here hasn't heard that from their doctor? That, well, you got to stop doing that. You're killing yourself. Everybody has. That's a constant. In this room, I'm preaching to the choir.
And I went on for, I guess, less than 10 more minutes and actually got into the meat of it. But that was all off the cuff. And everybody said it came out great. And it was very gratifying. Got some nice rounds of applause. I tried to be a little entertaining with my speech. And I think I pulled it off. So I thought you might like to see that. When I finally get a decent, good audio copy of the whole thing, I'll put it out in a standalone video for anybody that's interested. There were some, Nelson spoke, Kelsey spoke, Rachel and Joe, the two crazy ketos, they're very entertaining. They spoke. Diane Ladd talked about her carnivore and MS experience. I didn't get to hear the people that were supposed to come up after lunch. I think Phil Ovadia, the cardiologist, was supposed to be there, but at the time I left, he hadn't arrived. He hadn't arrived yet. So I missed. They were talking about Nelson and Kills were talking about the coaching that they do. Then they all broke about had a question and answer where all the speakers sat up on the stage, and I think most of those questions were probably outside of my purview anyway. So I don't think anybody missed out on any life-changing pearls of wisdom because I wasn't there. But I did make it through yesterday, the whole day. We, after dinner, about 6 or 7 of us, including Kelsey, went out back after everybody else had left, fired up those big space heaters, propane heaters that he had out on the deck. The cigars came out, and we had just a fabulous, all of us, a fabulous conversation with good company and good cigars. and good mineral water because there was no alcohol. And we went until almost 11 o'clock at night. So, needless to say, both he and I went way past our normal bedtimes that night. Now, last night was the first night that I didn't sleep in my own bed since I got home from the hospital last March. Needless to say, I didn't sleep. Not that it wasn't a beautiful room, not that it just wasn't my room or my bed, my pillow, my covers, and I started trying to go to sleep hours after I normally do. So it didn't work. When I got up this morning, the original plan was that I was going to go to Tampa with Kiltz in his car, leave my car at his house there, spend the whole day in Tampa with him, come back to his house in the evening, tonight, which would be right now, and stay over a second night at that house, get a good night's sleep, and then head back home on Sunday morning when there's little or no traffic. So that was the plan. But when I got up this morning, I actually overdid it that my calf muscles and my leg muscles were aching. It was like doing too hard a workout. I was on my feet 4 times more in just one day than I usually am. That was one of the things that kept me up at night. So my legs were aching. I could still walk and I still felt good. My mind was clear, but physically, I said, I'm not going to, as much as it sounded like a great evening tonight, I don't think I want to risk not sleeping again. So I said, well, we'll go to, and then what happened was great and something unexpected. I got this big 3-row SUV that I drive by myself. Nobody's ever sit in the back seat of this thing. I mean, it's big because I just want to have a big vehicle if I have to evacuate should we get a hurricane or something. I can load a lot of valuable stuff that I don't want to leave in my house, which might get blown away when I'm not here. So I have this big Hyundai Palisade, and Kelsey said, and we also had Adam from Curry's friend from Healing Humanity, and they both said, well, Mitch, why don't we ride up to Tampa with you? And it's an 1.5-hour drive from Kelsey's house to the hotel in Tampa. And I said, well, how are you going to get back? He said, we got a lot of people coming back this way. That's not a problem. I said, well, that's great. I said, you're going to take your life in your hands. You're going to take your life in your hands and risk it to ride with me driving. Well, he didn't seem fazed by that. So we all got in the car, and we had a tremendous ride. It went by, it felt like 10 minutes because we were just talking about everything all the way up there. And all of a sudden, we were at the hotel. I told him I was gonna buy him a bumper sticker for his car that says, I survived the old guy. And we got a chuckle out of that. And then we went into the hotel and had a little coffee, and the event started right at 10 o'clock. And then the speakers came, and then I came up, and after I got done speaking and after a couple more speakers, I got to thinking about driving home later or having to go through all the work of going to that restaurant. And I still wasn't hungry because I ate too late the day before. That's another reason I didn't sleep. When you get old like me, especially after almost a solid year of exactly the same routine, eating at the same time of day, eating the same food, sleeping in the same bed, doing the same, watching the same TV, anything just throws you off. And yesterday really threw me off. So that answers all your questions about why What's this? What? Miss Sherry in the house? Sherry Morgan! Sherry Morgan! Stranger, how are you? We missed you. My God, it's been a long time. Gotta run. Well, okay, Sherry. It was great seeing you. I'm glad I glanced over at the chat. Let me stop right now. We can talk a little bit more about some of this, but let me say hi. Let me start reacting or interacting with some of you guys. Were nice enough to come in tonight without any notice. I know that Gary and his son, No Slow, what a great guy. He was there. He joined us last night for a cigar. We couldn't get Rick to smoke a cigar, though. No, wasn't happening. And Rick, as luck would have it, he got on the bus in Miami, and the bus broke down on Alligator Alley going across the Everglades. I had a bad tire or something, and they were stuck for, I think it's like a half an hour. But Juliet Eden, who was also there, I got to meet her. You probably see videos of a lot of people about this event, and I'm going to try to gather a lot of this stuff up. But Juliet was there, a real sweetheart, and it was just real nice to meet people who I feel like I know, but I've never really met in person. It makes you want to do more and more of the meetups, but it's so hard to get to these things. But he did a good job, got a nice turnout for this. It was a nice crowd. Everybody had a great time. First one in was Mike Seeley. Mike Seeley Jr. Greetings from Terra Gaucha in Tampa. So when I created the video, evidently his cell phone went off and he was in the restaurant, and he replied, and his father, good evening from Tampa. I'll be calling you soon to smoke a cigar. And he lives a couple miles from me, and we never ever get together except when we have a meetup. And I said to him yesterday, call me. You got my phone number. Call me anytime you want. I love the company. Come over here and smoke a cigar. So he reminding me that he remembered. He remembered that. My buddy Jody, Drone Shots from my old drone days, saw I was live and checked in. And I don't know if you're still here, Jody, but it's going well. It's going well. Richard Williams is here. Good morning. Yeah, morning. I'm sorry. My whole timeline is upside down. Francine Bourgeois, good evening to you. And Donna Ray is here. And Linda Flanagan. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Barry Simon. Hi, Barry. Missed you there. I missed you there, buddy. It was a great time. It was a great time. It was as good, maybe even a little better than last year. Even though the barbecue wasn't quite as fancy, they didn't give away cutting boards and knives and all that stuff. But they didn't charge nearly as much for a ticket as they did this year. But everybody that was there, I would have to say, certainly got their money's worth from this deal. A little swag bag with hats and other stuff in it. It was very nice, very well done, very well done. A lot of thought. And Alia, God, what a gem she is. What a worker. But I finally got a chance to sit down and get to know her a little better. And I don't know how often she gets to the States, because she lives in Colombia with her husband, but she was here, and everybody was running around, and I was kind of like, imagine a video where there's a time-lapse kind of thing, but everybody else is just running all around, and there's one guy just standing there, not moving. Well, that was me, right in the middle of it all, kind of trying to not get knocked over. Barry asked me if I skipped the Brazilian steak. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And it's probably just as well, because I got home about, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And I just made half a dozen eggs and a big bunch of bacon. Because yesterday I ate nothing. I ate nothing except the about 2 pounds of steak, and at about 7 o'clock, and that really threw me off. Really threw me off. Sherry Morgan, thank you so much. Little super chat. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Sending you love and light from Itchy and Scratchy, which are her guinea pigs. And most of you probably don't remember Sherry. A very unique woman, and has always been a good friend to this channel. And thank you, Sherry. I'm so happy that to see that you're still out there. And I know what this YouTube thing is like, because I do it too. You can only be in so many places at one time, and I understand. But I'm flattered that you found me again tonight, and I hope maybe on one of our live streams, Tuesday and Saturday, we have a panel. Anybody can chime in. You come back in, because we always enjoyed having you with the guinea pigs in the panel here. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And the pole dancing, not what you think, but the pole dancing, Sherry's quite the athlete. I got to tell you, it hurts just watching. Don Shiger, hi Don, how you doing? And Golden Girl says, hello, Mitch and chat. This is a pleasant surprise. Good. Mary M, yes, I am home now. Obviously, I'm in my studio. I'm in my studio. I did that one live stream from there yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And it got a lot of views. It's incredible. A lot of people saw it. But Kiltz's 3-hour-long live stream last night, just playing the whole time we had the indoor event. If anybody really wanted to see what it was like to be there, the only problem is you couldn't taste the steak. And I'm very proud of myself. I did not have the Kiltz's ice cream with the blueberries, the strawberries, the raspberries that he had set out there, and I swear everybody else did. They made tubs of this ice cream. People were taking big paper cups, they had like ice cream cups of it, full, and filling it with the blueberries and the strawberries in the bottom, and and I didn't have not a single blueberry. So hopefully I'm over that. And I ate so much steak. I ate so much. I didn't even want the blueberries. It's crazy. Juliet, hi Mitch, long time no see. No, I didn't see you speak, sweetie. But I talked about you and Rick. Your speech was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Juliet. No, I had to go if I was going to get home without killing myself in traffic. And it worked out just perfect. Just perfect. I found a little window in between the two big rushes on the weekends and snuck through. And there is absolutely no other way to get from there to here. You can't do it. And Florida is just becoming one ginormous traffic jam, especially around Central Florida and out where Disney and all the attractions are. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Golden Girl loves my song. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Don Shiger says, and I agree, nothing like being home. Chris Swain from Australia, how you doing? Good to see you. Tammy Petarchis here. Hiya, Tammy. Hit that like button, says Sandy Blythe. Hiya, Sandy. How are you? How are you? Great to see you. And then Running Tap. Good day, Mitch. Good day. That's Jeannie. Good day, Jeannie. How are you? Good to see you in Australia. And there's Chuck, Super Tune. Great to have met you in Tampa. It was. Good meeting you and your mom. Your mom is amazing. Amazing. 86-year-old. Sugar Bear Motorsports. Hello, fellow carnivores. Jean-Marc is here from France. Hi, Jean-Marc. How are you? Yes. Oh, my God. Hello. And who is this? Donna M. Pedersen. Hi, from central Minnesota. And Dr. Nelson. Hello, Mitch. Glad to see you. Made it back okay. It was great to see you again, Nelson. Always, as usual. And your wife, and we had a great time. And I'm so grateful to the whole crew for making me feel so. I don't know if you have any idea how much this really does mean to me, but to have people make you feel so special is an honor that very few of us get. And this isn't even a big level. It's not like I got an Academy Award or something, but they just made me feel so welcoming. And Rob Kiltz is. I gotta tell you, he hates it when I compliment him. If he and I are standing next to each other with a microphone in our hand, talking to people, and I say, "Let me just say that this man is the greatest," he just not like he doesn't want to hear it, but he's that humble. He's that humble. He wants me to stop. And yet he knows I mean it. So, and a lot of people do it to him, but I've never met anybody like him. I think he's gotten past any kind of motive. He's got everything materialistically that anybody could want. He's made the successes. He's come from a tough background. He had to have been motivated by money and profit, and yet he's now the owner of the largest privately owned chain of fertility clinics in the country, and probably the least profitable. We're talking about that because he does this for women as cheap as he can to still keep the doors open. It's unbelievable. And he's just morphed into just, one of the most altruistic guys I've ever met. And he blushes when I tell him about it. He blushes when I tell him, but a great friend, even though we may disagree on some facts here or there. We have deep discussions, philosophical discussions, and we both developed, I think, I'm not going to speak for him, but an amazing depth of respect for each other, and you've beat very, very few people in your lifetime like that, and I feel privileged. So there, Kelsey, blush away, my friend, if you happen to see this. Yeah, the real Dr. Nelson. I see you made it back. I did, Nelson. Thank you so much. I beat all the traffic. I snuck right through the middle. Smart decision not to overdo it. Yeah, and I feel pretty good, and I will sleep. I will sleep tonight for sure. Lizzie says, Mitch is here. Juliet's saying hi to Nelson and Sugar Bear Motorsports. What are carnivore meetups about? That's a great question. Well, we have kind of a meetup on these live streams. We have kind of a meetup every time we get together and chat in a live stream or leave comments on a video, and we have created a community of like-minded people, a small community that most of society views That's absolutely stupid and self-destructive because we don't eat the same crap that they eat. Because everybody knows, and all the doctors are telling them, that what we eat, it gives you cancer and diabetes. Lambs, I just read your latest comment. That was mean, and you're too much of a cynic. You're too much of a cynic. You're really too much of a cynic. You wouldn't, honest to God, you would not put that comment in there if you knew the guy. But I can understand why you say that. Because you're a cynic like I'm a cynic. But I wouldn't say it if I truly, truly didn't think he's gotten over money as the motive for what he does. I said that it was the motive at one point, as it is with everybody. But I do believe he's over it. I know some things that nobody knows, we've talked about, that have proven to me that he's over it. So take my word for it. I hate to say to anybody, trust me, but on this one, if you think that I eventually get to the reality and everything, I pretty well think I've got to that reality. You just have to watch the guy. You should have seen him working yesterday. He wouldn't let anybody else do anything if he could do it. He spent half the day, he kept walking by one way and another, carrying chairs over his head. From the outside to the inside, from the living room to here, make room for the table, I mean, the guy, it was crazy. I got tired watching him for 5 minutes. Tammy thinks I made a good move, and who is this? Lizzie. Lizzie's back. Nice sun. Yeah, the sun. I really got some color. I don't know if you can see it here. Let's see if you can see my eyes. How they look white, like a raccoon. I needed that. I always was out in the sun so much, flying drones or walking out in the morning sun that I never got pale. But, you know, a year of being laid up, wow. Wow. It does it to you. It does it to you. And Chuck said it was great to see Dr. Nelson again. And you were asking what are meetups? Well, we do this like this is a meetup of sorts. But, but to meet in person, have a little kind of convention, even if it's just 3 or 4 people that might be close to you, might be near you. Well, Thomas came in the studio. Holy cow, I got a visitor. Let me finish this thought, Thomas, and I'll get to you. Yeah, we missed you there today. It would have been great if you and Lewis could have been there. But we'll talk about that. But at any rate, these meetups, you make friends that you've never met. And if you come to enough of these live streams with the same people, you find you develop real friendships with these people after you've chat, you know, week after week, month after month. But you've never met them. Some people go on dating sites and actually fall in love with each other before they even meet, just from emailing and sharing photographs. But when you first meet them in person and put a persona and a face, and the feeling you get, the instinctual feelings you get from meeting somebody in person, if you've made a friend, it cements. It's like when I saw Rick today, it was the final step in cementing a friendship over good food, sharing common goals, common interests, and common beliefs. And with the way we live, with our lifestyle, those finding people with those common beliefs is very rare. So when you get 100 people like that in the same room who believe what you believe and are practicing it, and it's evident that they are benefiting from it, that reinforces your own commitment to it and belief that, yes, Martha, all those doctors, nutritionists, dietitians, and people who buy into that stuff are indeed wrong. And I may have had doubts, but, you know, this saying, don't believe your lying eyes, isn't going to work on me anymore. And that's the feeling you get. It's a great feeling. And it's tough to get to some of them because these things, you have to travel a lot. Some of them are expensive to go to, the events. But the meetups are things that smaller groups of people can do. And that's not a convention, but just meet at a restaurant, meet at a steakhouse or something. And sit around and talk and have a nice meal with 3 or 4 people that you found live close enough to you to get together, drive a half hour or an hour to have a lunch or a dinner. That's the meetup. All right, let me bring Thomas in. Thomas, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. So I saw that video that you did, the live over.
Oh yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. So how's your neck on looking up to Rick?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm still stiff today. No, it was stiff. It's a little stiff, but that was from not being able to sleep. You know, I don't know how sacred a pillow is to you, but you know, there's very few things more sacred to us than our own pillow.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to live without at least 2 of my pillows.
So, and it's not like, you know how sometimes you go to somebody's house and they say, "Oh, there's a spare bedroom," and you go in there and it was the bed that wore out 20 years ago with a 30-year-old mattress and some ratty old sheets on it, and the dog's been sleeping on it, and the kids play on it, and then they give you a pillow that you know you don't even want to look at, let alone put your nose on. And
Right.
this wasn't the case. I walked into that bedroom in Kilsa's house. It was like walking into a hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton. It was the beautiful bedding, beautiful sheets,
What would you
beautiful big
expect
fluffy
less than
pillows, but not for me.
I don't think I'd expect any less than that from Kilts, though. So
Yeah, the man, whatever he does with style, and he does right. And
well, I've always compared Kilts to the father of the bride at an Italian wedding. You know, because like in the meaning of like he has a way of engaging with you, being the only person there, and he makes any of his guests feel special. You know, I just know that about him. And
he does. He's
you know, I mean, people try. I mean, many people try, but I think just Kilts has a talent for it.
yeah. I think he's a genuinely great soul, and
Right.
you know, there's more ways than one to be able to tell, but the best way is the feeling you get. It's
Yeah.
kind of like if they gave a way to measure how erect the hairs on the back of your neck get as an indicator of how much you should be a little hesitant about this person.
Right. Like,
you know?
do I approach that person or not? Right.
Yeah, and we'll give that indicator a name. You know,
Jean-Marc,
there's none of that. Absolutely, you don't feel any danger.
no.
And that is a natural instinct that is honed itself over hundreds of millions of years that allow animals to sense danger before they even see or hear it. And it's why so many animals appear to be so skittish, but you can never get near them. They know you're coming before you got there. They are hearing your brain waves first and interpreting them and sensing the danger. And that's what gives, you know, there's many ways people talk about it. It makes my skin crawl.
Right. Give me
makes the
goosebumps.
hair on my neck stand up, you know, and it's a survival and a evolutionarily finely tuned survival mechanism, and it enables us to be wary unless we're just babes in the woods and believe everybody, you know, and there's people like that. But I'm not one of those. I have been, I proved myself right, and when I failed to miss the signal, in retrospect, thinking back, I can remember feeling a little something, but I guess maybe wishful thinking, which is how a con man works. You may not trust what he says, but you want what he's offering so bad you're willing to take the chance.
Yeah, the medicine man or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, and I feel nothing. Very few people in the world that I feel don't want anything from me. And it's especially easy to feel that way from a guy who doesn't need anything from me except friendship. What the hell skills? If he was a con man or he was, what the hell could I possibly give him and do for him?
Yeah.
And he's never asked me for anything except to be his friend, you know? And that, I'll do that with anybody who wants to be my friend. Just, you know, what usually happens is it usually, and this is not just male friends, this is some of the women you date too. Sooner or later, when they got enough of their hooks in you, then you start finding out that they need $10,000 because a kid is sick and their dog needs a new fur coat, and you know, and blah, blah, blah.
The real person comes out.
Yeah, yeah. The motives come out. Peter says, "How goes it, brother?" Oh, he's talking to Spanky, not me. Oh, I'm not your brother, Peter. Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing,
Peter's been
Peter?
here for a little while, it seems.
And
so he
Spanky's
should-
here, and B-Mat's here. How you doing, Brian? Good to see you. Got a nice crowd here on a Saturday night.
You do.
I'm here.
I turned off YouTube, so I'm only on the. So I don't really see how many people you have, but
100 right now.
okay.
Yeah, and
And
I know a lot of my regular people that I met live are on the way home now, so they couldn't be here if they wanted to be.
So-
Like Rick.
So was
is-
Rick what you expected when you met him?
Exactly, and more. Rick was the personification of himself.
Yeah, I have a
duck,
feeling. Yeah.
The duck man.
I think Rick is what you get.
Rick is Rick. He is a humble guy. I still don't think he recognizes
Himself as anything.
the enormity of how many people know who he is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, he's a great study for a psychologist, of which I'm an amateur psychologist. I like to analyze people and figure out what makes them tick. And Rick basically does not have a mean bone in his body. He is very rare among human beings not to be judgmental. And Rick, if you think about it, Rick is not, he might say vegans or something, but Rick is not judgmental. He accepts just about everybody. And he's as easygoing as anybody I've ever met. The
And if you
exact
think about it
opposite
in
of
the
me.
concept, it doesn't help to be judgmental anyway. You know, it's like we're all on our own path, and we just do what we do. And I agree with being carnivore, but I can't really put anybody down that doesn't. You know, and it's just, you know, I just think carnivore helped me out a lot more than doing anything else.
I think it helps everybody that does it.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try. I think it's worth a do. You know, and it's not worth it if you don't do it for at least 30 days, you know, type thing.
I think interestingly enough, Thomas, I think that the trait that most carnivores seem to exhibit, that of being a missionary, doesn't exhibit itself unless what it is that you're missionarying whether it be Jesus or carnivore or whatever, hasn't, in your own opinion, performed miraculous changes in you yourself, enough changes to make you so excited that you go on a mission to help people, and that basically, true missionaries generally do not have ulterior motives. They generally want. Now, they do get something out of it in the joy of sharing the success that they've had,
Right.
and revel in the thanks from those people who are helped. But it's a certain type of personality like that. The other type of personality would be selfish. If they find something that works, like the carnivore says, why would I want to tell everybody else? Because then meat would get more expensive. So this works, but I'm just going to keep it for myself. And there's a lot of those people out there. They're trying not to spread the word, but to keep the word from spreading for selfish reasons. But those of us that are just finally gave up trying to help people because we're tired of getting hit over the head and abused and ignored and ostracized, our motives, I think, are pretty pure. Now, that's not always the case, but I think you could.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my take is I did want people to learn and stuff like that, but then I changed it that I'm on my own journey, and I'm healing. I have a lot of healing to do, and as I'm learning, if people want to ask me questions, if they have, and I can help them, then great. I value that, but I'm not going to force my opinion on them and stuff like that. I'm carnivore, and that's it.
But you do spend the time and energy to put yourself and the carnivore message out there, which means
I mean, oh yeah,
you do have a well-intentioned
people in my wheelhouse in my
you have a well-intentioned motive, I believe. I have to sometimes wonder and ask myself, why the hell am I doing all this work for nothing, for no money? And then it dawns on me that it's not just the money. That's not important. I'm finding that trying to do some good itself it makes you feel good, and yet I hate to say I'm an altruist and all I care about is everybody else but myself, because that's disingenuous, and I'm not a liar. So I need things too, but I love this. I love doing it, and the people that I'm meeting, the people that were there today. You ever talk about feeling at home someplace? Surround yourself with 100 people that believe every word out of your mouth, don't criticize anything about you.
Right.
I got to tell you, there's very few things in life that feel that good. I understand why some entertainers just go nuts from the crowd adoration. Now, if you're lucky enough not to have a super ego, it might mean something to you. You know what I mean? If you don't let it get to your head and get a really big head about it.
Yeah, no, I feel I'm pretty humble, and
there's no doubt, doubt. You are that way. You are that way.
It's just my character. It's just the way I am, But yeah.
Wow, look at that! I got through an hour. I'm glad you came.
You seem to be able to do it every time. So
yeah, that's what I said in my little speech that I made today. I don't know if you
How
heard
did
that.
the speech go? Did it go pretty well?
Well, speech went great. I was surprised. And it was funny because people asked me 10 minutes before, what are you going to talk about, Mitch? I said, I have no idea. 10 minutes before I had to get up here and talk, I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't try to figure it out. I just said, I don't know, stick a microphone in my hand. And I got up there and just started talking. I tried to keep it a little short today because the two speakers in front of me went about 10 minutes long each. And I was supposed to only get 15 minutes, so I used less than 15 minutes.
Who were the first two speakers?
Dr. Nelson and Diane Ladd.
Okay.
But that's okay. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You get talking about something that you're enthusiastic about, and you can just keep going. So I got up there and I played the first 3 minutes because that's all I had recorded. I got a video clip from Mike Seeley, and it cut off after 3.5 minutes, and I did about I think 12-minute, 13-minute speech. So I'll get a copy of the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
I
mean,
was
it'd be great.
I was very pleased because I'm standing up there with my cane in one hand, doing a balancing act when I'm talking. Kelsey came out. He says, you can sit down and talk. I said, no, I'm not sitting down. I'm standing up. And I didn't want to talk. Interestingly enough, I didn't want to talk about carnivore. Nobody wanted to hear me say eat meat and carnivore cured this and carnivore cured. We hear so much of that. I said I'm going to try to entertain them, make them laugh, talk about just life in general, and it came out great. It just came off the top, and I got a couple of really great laughs too. So I am an unemployed comedian, no doubt about it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I always felt nervous about going up on stage, and everything. But now it's more like if they ever ask me, I think I can do it. But before I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can do like you or do like Kerry Mann or anything like that. But now I think if they ask, it's like, okay.
Well, it's a matter of
good about me,
It's experience, Tom. I was never a public speaker.
No.
I just.
Well, I think our channel is taking us more and more into that realm because we are more on the camera.
That's it. You get used to talking, and you feel less and less self-conscious. And the best way to do that, is not to try to be anything other than just what you are. And if you screw up, make a joke out of it. Oh, that didn't come out right. I'm having the strangest problems because of the way my speech has been affected. Sometimes a word comes out wrong. Right. So I don't get embarrassed by that. I'm among friends. Everybody understands that it ain't easy doing what I'm doing. And I'll repeat the word properly or slow down. You can't. Nobody that, if you're speaking to people, if your mistakes make them think less of you, you're speaking to the wrong people.
Yeah. I agree.
You should be speaking to people that
I agree.
will forgive you.
And like I said, like when I went to Boston, Carrie made a comment of like, hey, if you want, would you like to speak? And I said, no, I don't think I'm ready. So he just had me stand up and just like he did with Rick the last time, but I'm like, I think I have a little bit more. I think I have a lot more confidence now, and I think I can definitely do it. And I think by the time I do, I mean, I have like two definite meetups I'm going to be going to, but one's like a small one's like maybe 20 people, and the other one is
that's a good sized meetup.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, 20 people. I wish I could get 20 people here to Melbourne.
Yeah,
that would be great.
I mean, this one's going to be in New Jersey, and I'll see Lewis again. Lewis is going to be going, and somebody's actually going to be driving me there because it's about 2 hours from where I live in New Jersey. But the other one's going to be the one in November, the Hack Your Health in November.
That's great.
I'll be meeting a lot of people, at that one. So, I mean, I have to be careful on how many I do because they do cost, and especially ones that are far away, But
well, listen.
Did
you watch Kelsey's video yet from last night, the 3-hour one that showed the whole dinner?
No, I didn't.
It's on there, and you can see all 3 hours of it. It's not narrated. It shows the whole dining room and all the people coming and going and eating, and then the speeches that they gave it after dinner. Kels talked and Nelson talked, and they gave out some awards.
Okay.
But
Oh, they gave out rewards too. That's
awards, yeah, they had raffles and
That's cool. I don't think
yeah,
they
it
did
was
that
pretty good.
before.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And some speech got picked up in there for some of the people at the table because I'm looking at it, I'm scrolling through it, and I see the actual subtitles. But YouTube's
I
heard
would
some
bet
speech.
your
And
speech got in there if it's 3 hours worth.
well, no, that wasn't a speech. This was
Oh.
dinner last night. This was just a
Oh,
party.
during the dinner time. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, just a party. So you might want to watch that. It was
I
worth watching.
I actually have to work tomorrow morning, so I might watch it after work.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours. Instead of
Well,
watching Rick.
that's why, because you said it's 3 hours, so I might like reserve.
And
3
I
hours.
was in the far, from the way you're looking at the vantage point, I was at the head of the back table to your right, and Rick was right next to me, and you could see his head sticking up. So, all right, Thomas, thanks for coming, man. Good to see you.
Problem. I
Good
will
to see you
still-
as usual.
Yeah.
You take it easy. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
There you go.
I'll see you.
Okay, and that leaves me. Let me put the chat back up. There you go. I may have missed many of you in the chat. We had a nice little crowd here tonight. I'm awfully glad that I did this, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the activity from the weekend. There's going to be hopefully I'm going to be able to gather a lot more pictures, some video clips, a decent memento of my little speech. That I still have my little speech from last year.
Well,
I do have it here.
I just found out like 10 minutes ago.
That was me 2 weeks before my stroke.
Talked for 5 minutes or so, and I said, guilty.
And I watch that sometime to say, how much different do I look now?
I've never been able to finish a thought in less than an hour, and if nobody stops me, it just keeps going.
And that was an impromptu speech too. So it'd be interesting to compare the two speeches. Of course, this one I'm slurring a little bit more, and I got a cane in my hand. But the most important thing, my brain was not affected when it comes to awareness and intelligence. Just a little motor control problems that have to take a little more time. A few more circuits have to be, but it has not affected in any way my ability to think or figure things out, because that would, to me, have been a real disaster. I can deal with a little bit of physical problems, but the thought of ending up with any kind of mild dementia or Alzheimer's or memory problems or the ability to figure and calculate and think about things, and that would be devastating. That would be the worst thing that could happen to me. And fortunately, I still have the same ability to do this, and I don't think it's gotten any worse. Maybe even a little better. I've gotten more comfortable with it anyway. Well, anyway, thanks for coming. Let me play a little bit of happy music. I see Spanky's here, and Boston Danny's here. Mike Sealy is here from Melbourne. John Mark and Bacon Runner says, hi, Mitch, Peter, Aaron. Hi, Aaron's here too. And Lambs threw me a compliment. Thank you, my friend. Nothing wrong with your cognition, be assured. I would hope not. I don't think so. I don't think so. Of course, we're always the last ones to recognize any handicap or problem in ourselves, because we're the hardest people to be honest with, ourselves. Spanky's, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. CB Carmack's here. You're still the man, Mitch says. So are you, my friend. So are you. Thank you so much, CB. Who else? Who else? Chuck. Good night, Chuck. Bye, all. Say good night to Mom for me. Good night, Aaron. Tammy Patarch. Good night to you. I will see you Monday morning. Morning Coffee with Mitch, sprayed at early 7 a.m. after Kelsey. And we'll all be talking about the meetup. I decided, I made, a couple of us got together. We were sitting out there in Kelsey's backyard, smoking cigars, just had pounds of steak. It was one of those life doesn't get any better than this moments. You know those moments. It doesn't get any better than this. And I said, I got an idea. What? I said, we ought to do this once a week here at Kelsey's house. Why don't you go and tell Kelsey that's what we're going to do? So I was joking around with Kelsey today, this morning on the ride over to Tampa, and I said, yeah, I don't know if you heard, but we decided we're going to do this once a week at your house. And honest to God, the guy was serious. And he looked at me and he said, that's not a bad idea. I'd like to do this about once a month, he said. And I think he meant it. I don't think he meant having such a big extravaganza, but just having a bunch of carnivores over to have dinner and an evening at his house once a month. I think the guy would like it. I think he would like it. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Be a lot of driving for most of us, but I'd almost want to do that. It was one of those days. Just one of those days you never forget. I never forgot last year either. So this has become a kind of like a very special family reunion. Jerry says, your sun-kissed skin looks great on you, Mitch. Thank you, Jerry. Well, listen, my friends, I'll see you Monday morning. I am going to get a good night's sleep and kind of recover a little bit tomorrow, but I want to keep up doing a little more activity, because this weekend proved to me that I can keep going. I mean, I don't have to, I can be a little less careful, a little less shaky, and push myself a little harder and not do any, and that is like exercise. Sometimes you exercise a little hard, you think you overdid it, but I don't think I overdid it. I think I pushed the envelope a little bit, and I think it actually felt good. And I feel great. I feel good right now. I still have a lot of energy, but I need sleep. I need to get a good night's sleep in my own bed, and I'll tell you how that went on Monday morning. So, with all that being said, from Melbourne, Florida, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.